The person I most like to be analytical and self-deprecating with is my sister. She can take it. She tells me to reframe. Everyone could benefit from a conversation with her. She's who I go to when I need to dissect the hard topics that I wake up obsessing about. I'll ask tons of questions and she'll sister us through via text or wine or coffee. All useful vices, since the Davy sisters are a strong cup of coffee. So come here if you can relate or need some sistering yourself. There'll be lots of laughter and a whole lot of reframing as we work our way through some of life's big and small stuff together.
Do you need to relax? All of us experience anxiety, stress, or sleep difficulties from time to time. Relaxation can help. For progressive muscle relaxation, visualization, meditation, and more, subscribe to Relaxation Audio with Candy wherever you get podcasts, or visit relaxation-audio.com.
Wow.
It's almost a song.
Isn't?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of song?
I see the rats there looking at me. Like, please open the cage so we can be nice and just
Oh, Sebastian's
Not-
there too.
get into trouble.
He's so dark, it's hard to see him when we're down here.
He's just a fat, dark ball. Sebastian! You son of a bitch.
Be nice to Sebastian. He's a good boy.
Your mom's nice.
Yeah, that was a long pause. In case you guys didn't listen to the last episode,
You should.
you should. And it
We're-
explains why we're living in the basement.
I mean, the thing is, we recorded the podcast,
We always record from our basement,
right? So that didn't change, but
but now we're
our
living
living
down here.
situation changed. Usually it's a cinema, but now it's like a bedroom/living room.
And usually the rats are upstairs, but
Mhm.
since we're all in the basement, the rats came too. And
Yeah.
now we get to stare at them while we do the podcast.
They're being weird.
They're so cute.
Yeah, because you can't do that before we do something, like record or not be in the room where you tease them with
I didn't
coming
tease
out.
them. They really wanted to come out.
Yeah,
And then, you know,
now they're super
Classy-
sad right now.
Klaus is super fat and he's not very coordinated. And so when he tries to like climb down from the hammock to where the door is, he always falls.
Yeah.
And he came down so gracefully. I was so proud of him. And so I had to give him a little squeeze.
Yeah. And Ollie and Sebastian, or no, sad rats
They're not sad.
wanting.
They'll be fine. They get to come out soon.
Ollie Wally!
This whole podcast is going to be us speaking to our rats. Enjoy.
Right.
Anyways, how are you today?
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot my work computer for work in Linz, so I drove there. Do you know the weird thing is
So you went to work without
my
the thing to work
computer-
on.
Right.
Mhm.
So I packed everything, stood in the door, and was like, I think I'm missing something, like something big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I have everything. But since I had to go somewhere quick and get something and come back again, I thought maybe I think about it. And I, realized what I'm missing, but I didn't. So I drove to Linz, and as soon as I stepped into my office, I'm like, God damn it. But thankfully, there's a spare laptop there, so I was able to work.
No, that's good.
But
Oh, you can actually hear the rats drinking.
Yeah. That's Sebastian. That's Sebastian drinking.
Yeah, sure it is. He's the
Um,
loudest drinker.
But then we had a Christmas party, kind of.
Yeah, because of COVID stuff, you didn't
I
have a
mean,
Christmas party, or
that-
why didn't you have it?
We didn't have a Christmas party because of COVID, but also because of COVID, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
thought
we
so.
did it today not because of Christmas. We could have just done like some other thing, but we thought it would be fun to do a Christmas party with like Christmas sweaters and stuff. And at the same time, take fun Christmas pictures so we
Mhm.
have content for the next upcoming Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was kind of weird because we actually decorated the room
That's funny.
and played Christmas music, and we all
Oh,
had
I wouldn't
Christmas
have liked that.
themed things on. And you don't, the thing is, you get into the Christmas spirit pretty fast. Like with the
Yeah.
Christmas music playing and everybody is dressed like Christmassy,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you're in the total Christmas mood, and it's kind of weird because outside it's like sunny and 18 degrees.
Celsius.
Yeah, was weird. And then I went to Linsquick and got a burger for
see.
lunch. Yeah, I had
Oh,
like
nice
30
for you.
minutes. Got a burger, it was pretty nice.
I had
and
some
then
really boring noodles because I didn't feel like going to the store
yeah,
because I
jokes on
just
you.
didn't have time.
Jokes on you. And then I watched some partly weird and some very entertaining things in like a movie festival, and then I went back to the Christmas party.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a
Yeah.
nice day. You act like it was this super
No, it was a nice day.
stressful day. The
No, it
beginning
was-
of the podcast, you were like,
It wasn't
"Today
stressful. It was a weird.
crazy."
It was crazy. It was crazy because it was back and forth a lot.
Yeah,
But no, it was a nice day. Yeah,
That's
how was
nice.
your day?
my day was stressful.
Yeah.
I had a lot to do today. And at work, I was really annoyed because I answered the phone and this woman called. We have 0 appointments left. I work at a doctor's office. And this woman calls today and is like, I need an appointment as fast as possible.
Mhm,
I have pain
classic.
that I can't stand the pain anymore. And she'd never been there before. And I told her, new patients, we have on the 17th of May, we have
Mhm.
appointments. But then she was telling me I can barely walk anymore because it's so bad. And the way that she said it, I believed her. I was like, oh, okay, fine. I was like, yeah, you can come, but come now and you're going to have to wait. It could take like 2 hours. I don't know.
Mhm.
The woman walks in like jolly and like prancing in, at least that's how I saw it in my head, but like not someone who said I can barely walk because of the pain.
I imagine that she's walking in and then she sees you and she's like, "Oh, I need to act crippled or whatever."
Was so annoyed. So annoyed.
Hey, get Ollie quick. Let him snoof
No.
into the
Really?
microphone. Yeah, get him quick.
So people can hear him snoofing. Eventually we'll get to the topic for today.
Yeah, get him quick.
Yeah,
He's sitting
I'm
in the
getting him.
bowl. Ollie Wally.
Ollie.
She's opening the cage. She's grabbing him, and she got him.
Sorry, Sebastian.
The other rats want to come out too, and she got Ollie. And here is Ollie.
Say hi, Ollie. Do you hear him?
Yeah. That's Ollie, everybody. No, he doesn't want to say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Ollie's going back now.
Ollie's going back.
Say bye, Ollie.
And Ollie's back. And Sebastian wants to come out.
No, we're closing now?
Yep. What a fun thing. But today's topic is
Rats.
rats, right? No, it's not rats. It's, what is it?
It's, what is it? Obsession with being liked on social media. Although I don't like the word obsession, but our desire. Why do we have such a desire to be liked on social media?
Easy. Because social media was built around being awarded by likes, and those likes stimulate the, what is it called?
I mean, they produce
Endorphins
probably good
in your-
endorphins in your brain.
Right. So easy. That's the answer.
All
Done.
right, that's the podcast. Bye. See you later.
I mean, first of all, there is a very good documentary on YouTube, on Netflix. Sorry, what is it called? Do you remember?
Nope.
No, Netflix.
You watched that. I didn't watch that with you.
Yeah,
Because you watched it without me.
I watched it without The Social Dilemma.
Mhm.
Right. And it's about it's a cool documentary because it's part fiction, or like fictionalized. So basically, you have an actor and he's reenacting a very realistic scene that comes from the bad parts of social media or the bad influences, like the radicalization and the being in a bubble and being so like fake news or wrong information. And then there's the actual documentary part where social media experts, people who worked on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, talking about it and how they built the whole thing and how they designed it to be almost like a game where we again get rewarded by like our endorphins getting released, which makes us
Addicted.
Thanks. But my point is that the one thing that everybody in the documentary said, like all the developers of the social media platforms, said that they don't have social media and their kids don't, and they never will until, they're a certain age. Which makes you think, because a developer who doesn't use his, tool or his program, that's a little dicey, because that tells you something. Because usually when you develop something and you work on something that you like or that you're proud of, you might end up using it if you can use it in your setting.
Yeah, but I will say, it has changed so much since it began. So, the creators of this, like the Instagram, for example. Instagram, when it first came out, I mean, I was part of it maybe within its first year, I guess, maybe the first 2 years. But I remember, I enjoyed posting things to Instagram, but I never gave a shit. And a lot of people didn't give a shit about how many likes they got or how many comments they got. And even hashtags weren't even like that big of a thing when that started. But over time, you started to then see more ads. You started to
I just quickly, before you go on? Sorry.
Yes.
The problem was Facebook buying Instagram. Then that's exactly when that started. Yeah, go on.
And then you started to see all these things change, and people started becoming obsessed with how many likes they had on a picture. Then there was personal advertising where you could pay Facebook
You can.
To promote your post. And in some cases that might be a good thing, like for a business or for a podcast or, something like a shop that you're selling something.
Sure.
But for just a personal use, I think it's ridiculous. And then, you start getting all of those messages, like not necessarily spam bots, but you just get messages from like, if you want more followers, just do this or pay us this or blah.
Yep.
And it just became this constant need for attention.
The main problem in that thing is Facebook's algorithm, where everything was built around your data. So the more data you fed the system, the algorithm, the more it knows you and the more it targets your ads, it targets your content. And by that, it also creates this bubble. Because if you, for example, like, that's
Hey.
Sebastian forcefully cleaning Ollie.
Those teeny tiny squeaks are poor Ollie just trying to get into the hammock and not being
He's
allowed.
going in now. So by basically implementing that algorithm, you create a bubble. Because, for example, if I like a lot of rat content on Instagram, I see a lot of rat content. Dogs the same, and all of a sudden you're in this bubble where you only see that stuff. That's see
basically
ads
my
related
Instagram
to that.
feed.
Right.
It's rats and dogs.
But that is a problem if that gets turned around, where, for example, I'm a very critical thinker of certain scientific facts, and all of a sudden I get sucked into that bubble where I get presented with only alternative facts, as some people want to call them. And I'm in this bubble all of a sudden, and I only get to see that. Either it's Facebook or Instagram, and then all of a sudden I get an invitation for a Telegram group where it's only that. It's not even like there's not even an algorithm. It's just a person who posts that shit. So it's unfiltered crap. And that's where the problem starts with all that stuff, because I mean, it's not really the obsession part or why you want to be liked on Instagram or Facebook, but
you're
it's
kind
all
of going
part
on
of
a different tangent.
Right. But it's all about that algorithm where it makes you feel a certain way, and it enforces exactly that behavior where you have to mindlessly scroll and like and whatever you do, to gain followers or likes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think we've almost all been part of that cycle. Voifi and I think maybe in 2017, we're part of this. There's this website where you can, I mean, there's thousands of them, but there was a website where you can like trade likes.
AdMeFast.
Yeah. Don't advertise for them.
I'm sorry. Cut that out.
That's why I didn't say the name. But basically you could put in a post or a couple of posts of yours and earn points by liking other people's photos.
Yeah.
And with those points, people would then see your photo or something. There's some sort of algorithm with it where your photo gets put in enough times and then you get likes.
Yeah. But it's real likes.
But it's so stupid how much time we wasted. There were days where I would do that for like 2 hours or something while I was just watching something, or and it's so stupid.
I mean,
it's
the more stupid thing is that you actually can pay them 500 euros for I don't know how many points.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, it's really dumb. But we've all done shit like that. Or again, most of us have done shit like that where for some reason it just seems important, and it seems like our value is based on how many strangers follow us on social media.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the point now where I literally could give two shits. But I mean, except for my business page, obviously, I would love if more people would find that. But
don't do that, huh?
What?
Don't shamelessly plug.
I didn't shamelessly plug. I didn't say the name of my business. I didn't say the handle. Nothing. I was just saying. But yeah, as for my personal Instagram and stuff, I really don't care. I just don't care. Because why? What does it, I've come to learn, what does it bring me in life? Does it bring me anything? Does it significantly make my life better? No.
I already see you on your deathbed, and the only regret you will have is like, why did I not give more shits about my Instagram account? Yeah, but I mean, if you look at like social media influencer who have a lot of followers and
Yeah.
who influence people. I mean, it's an attractive and also attainable goal to, gain followers and gain a following and have a reach where you can maybe even make money with that, which is attractive for a lot of people. But see,
But the way, especially as a woman, I think the
Sure.
way that you typically have, like, what you have to
Algorithm.
do to gain followers is so demeaning. And so, because the likelihood that there are people who gain followers without that, but the likelihood is much higher that you gain a shit ton of followers if you post constant photos of, with cleavage
it's
showing,
the
or even
algorithm.
if it's
Yeah.
nothing to do with that, as long
Yeah.
as it's showing,
Yeah.
you'll get a bunch of followers. It's like, those aren't the kind of people I want following me anyways.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. I totally agree. I think it's the hardest thing to gain followers that just there because
they
of your
genuinely
content.
like your content.
Right. And it's
or
not-
what you have
The
to
thing is,
say.
I don't have anything against people who show themselves in a certain way online,
at
but I
all.
think Instagram is not the right platform for that. There are other platforms. OnlyFans was one of them. I don't think they do that anymore. But where you can do that and where it's... Because Instagram, I mean, I think the age is like 12 years old. So it's kind of...
Yeah, but anybody can
I mean,
go
technically, sure. But so... I mean, if you think
not
there are
like
kids
they
on Instagram
check.
and you don't want to have like naked people on there all the time. I mean, I think you
mean-
can even find penis on there.
Yeah, but
honest.
at the same time, the internet, they're going to find
Obviously.
it anyways. For me, that's
Obviously.
not a problem.
But I think
because it's not, for me, that's not a problem.
I think it's just different. I mean, if you look at YouTube, you can't find porn on YouTube because it's not made for that.
Yeah, but
Sure, you can
You
probably find half naked people doing things, but it's not, pornographic. I don't
yeah, I
know.
know. But
I don't know.
I mean,
Too far in.
Instagram does a fairly good job of blocking out that content.
Oh, I don't agree.
I agree with that. Because there have been things that even I posted where it's nothing and it gets flagged and removed, and I'm not even showing anything.
I don't know.
But they're like, this is inappropriate. I'm like, why?
I think Instagram does a very bad job because you can post things on Instagram that are so horrible, like very brutal things.
I'm talking about naked.
No, sure, but the hypocrisy is so stupid. So you can show a naked male guy, not like upper body naked, but
Yeah.
not full frontal nudity, but his upper body naked, and there's no problem. And with a woman,
Yeah.
it's a problem.
it's
So
so
that
fucked up.
alone, that the not nipplegate, but the nipple problem is
Yeah.
so stupid.
No,
And
but
then-
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say there's no problem about nudity on Instagram for me. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I don't care because if kids are like, at least for the argument of kids, if kids are going to go on and look for that, if they don't find it, they're just going to go to Google and find it. So who cares?
No, sure. But what I wanted to say is there's very horrible content on there, like brutal videos
Yeah.
of either people getting murdered from like war scenes or stuff, and also, I mean, animal stuff, like in terms of veganism, where people who are very, who try to want to show people, okay, this is how the dairy industry or meat industry or whatever factory farming is doing the killing, for example. And so it's kind of weird because at the end, it's a fucking social media platform. Sure, you should post things that maybe interest you or things that, drive you in your life, whatever. But I don't know, it's just a cesspool. It becomes more and more of a cesspool of
Yeah.
garbage,
But that's
of complete and utter garbage.
that's always going to be the case with any social
No,
media.
everywhere. Facebook, YouTube.
I
it's-
think especially Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, let's
Twitter's
not
a
talk
black
about Twitter.
hole.
Let's not talk about Twitter. Yeah. Nah, it's I don't know.
It's all a black hole. Let's be real.
Let's
It's all just nonsense and sure, there are people who profit from it and good for them. But at the same time, I feel like it just is, it's so soul sucking.
It is, and that's what I just wanted to say. I think at the end you have to
At the end of the day.
You have to monitor yourself. If you use social media, okay, good. If you use it for making money or promoting stuff, good for you. But you should monitor yourself. And there are tools on every phone these days where, or even Instagram app, where it shows you how much time you spent in Instagram, and you can set like a timer where it shows up when, you know, the time is up. Or even you can say, lock that app if I already went over 30 minutes or whatever.
I mean, what worked for me is, even without it, like without using those features, what worked for me is just thinking about the amount of time, that not even knowing the exact amount, but the amount of time spent aimlessly scrolling and, you know, thinking about, okay, I'm 30 years old. Am I really enjoying my life, or am I sitting around doing nothing or wasting time looking at pictures from people I don't know?
Yeah.
And for me, that was kind of like it's pretty rare that I aimlessly scroll anymore.
Yeah, for some people that might totally work. For some people it doesn't, because of, you know, they're addicted to it. Even
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it necessarily, but
no, but
I would try to pick the times that you do it. If you're
monitor
if it's at night and you're, you know, resting or relaxing after a long day, whatever, do what you want to do. But if you have the opportunity to be outside or do something productive, or do something that brings you joy, then do that. Pick that.
I found that, like, deleting the app for a couple of days, like over the weekend, for example, helped me a lot to see that, first of all, it's not there anymore, and I really won't install it until I might need it again. For example, I went for 4 days, for example, because I didn't need it, but then I needed it for work or whatever. But it helped me to regain a little more control again, where it's because you.
But I think it also probably helped you to remember what it feels like to not have it.
No, totally, because
kind of a sense of freedom.
In the first day, you might still open your phone and it's like, oh yeah, it's not there. Like it's a weird habit that like is programmed into your brain. Hey, you open your phone and the first thing you do is open in that app or whatever. Yeah. But it's nice because you still can take pictures and you can still share them after the weekend, for example. And a lot of even influencers do that, where they purposefully, especially for their mental health, take time off. And we're talking about the month or weeks where they say, okay, I'm not here for the next couple of weeks because it's too much. And especially these days where we see so much stuff on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, where it can be a little daunting, and I don't know. But that's also...
Yeah, we didn't really stick to the topic, but you know what? It all works together. So
let's just call it...
We lied. It's not really what we said it was.
Social media stuff.
Social media...
things.
No, something with S again. Then it's SMS. You know, get it?
Social media sucks.
Social media suckhole.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, anyways. I think that's it.
We have a fun episodes. We have a fun episode coming out where, or not really but another podcast where we were guests on, and we will probably release it on this show as well. So we will. Yeah. So you can listen into our conversation with them, but also be introduced into their podcast.
And they have a really, really cool podcast.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned and subscribe, rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts. I think on Spotify as well now.
Yes, please, sir.
I know that on Apple you can write a review.
Yes, please.
As well. I don't know about Spotify. I don't think so.
No.
You can leave us a voice message on Anchor if you would like to be on our podcast, if you would like to talk about something. We are here to listen and discuss and literally anything you want to talk about.
Yes.
And Stephen, if you're listening, watch out for deer.
Okay.
Goodbye.